Hey, so in this video I thought I would share my brother's response to when I went low contact with my parents, and basically I said that I wasn't coming to Christmas that year, and I just did this over text, and his reply was, "I don't want to lose you." And I remember thinking this was a very bizarre response because from my perspective he really didn't like me at all and had just treated me like he wished I was not his sister his whole life. Like, he's just never been nice to me or wanted to talk to me or cared at all about like how I felt or my opinion of anything. Like, just basically dismissed me, and I felt like I was dead to him, basically. Like, sometimes he would go for an entire family gathering, like Thanksgiving, and not look at me once, not say hi to me. I wouldn't have seen him in months, and he would just basically ignore me the entire family gathering. And that is abuse, to not even say hi to your sister, not like, hey, you know, happy Thanksgiving. Like, he just would not even acknowledge that I even existed. So I didn't think he would really care that I wasn't coming to Christmas. So his response was like confusing to me at first. Like, I don't want to lose you. Like, what is that about? And then he also said, you're a really good sister, which again, really weird since he never demonstrated that at all. And he said, I love you. And he said, well, I had said that I didn't connect with our parents. I never actually said they abused me, which I'm sure he found out from my parents that that's what I was saying. But I said I didn't have any connection with our parents, and I'm like taking a break from the family to get therapy, basically. And he said I didn't do anything to help you or something. I can't remember exactly what he said, and I've deleted all the text. But he said something like, the only reason I didn't help you is because I had no idea. So I believed him. Like, when I read that text, I was like, okay, yeah, he didn't know. But then the whole rest of the conversation was very strange. Like the I don't want to lose you thing. And now that I'm thinking about it later, like this is months and months later, he totally knew. Like, he's a golden child and he's not dumb. I know he's really smart. I'm sure he is semi-aware of the dynamic, if not fully aware of the dynamic. And when he said, I don't want to lose you, he was saying, I don't want to lose the scapegoat because I like being the golden child. That's what he was saying. And he just said, I love you, to gaslight me. And he said he didn't know what was going on, you know, as his cover. And like, as a child, yeah, I totally believe, you know, if he didn't know what was going on, that was perfectly reasonable. Like, I didn't know what was going on either. And I could forgive him for how he treated me as a child, just because he was trying to survive and whatever. I can understand that. But now he is an adult, I am an adult. I think he knows what's going on somewhat, and he's still choosing to play the game, and that's what is stopping me from trying to have a relationship with him. Like, he's made it clear that he's not interested in helping me now, and he's not interested in trying to understand what happened or ask me how I feel. Like, I never actually told him that I wanted no contact with him. I never actually said that. I just said, I'm not talking to our parent. But he never once reached out to me and said, how are you doing? How's your therapy going? Do you need anything? Like, he never once did that. So it's pretty obvious that he doesn't actually care about me, and he just wants to be the golden child, and that's the way it's always going to be. So I guess the point of this video was just to share a an example of golden child response and how it can sometimes be believable. Like you want to believe it. Like you want to believe that they didn't know what was going on. But I'm thinking about it now, and I think that he does know what the dynamic is. And I don't know what's going to happen to him now that I'm gone. Maybe he is going to become the scapegoat. Who knows? But that's not my problem, because he is an adult now, and he has the free will to also cut off my parents and possibly have a relationship with me if he wanted to. But I think it's pretty clear that that's not what he wants. So I didn't really have any difficulty going no contact with him, since he made zero effort whatsoever to contact me. So that was kind of a blessing in a way. I didn't have to like fend him off the way I've had to fend off all the other flying monkeys. He actually made it pretty easy for me to go no contact with him. So it's also just really sad. Like, the grief has hit me recently. Like, a brother is supposed to be someone that loves you. Like, it never really clicked for me, like, how devastating it has been to live with someone who hates you, and you can't figure out why, and you're trying to fix it, but you don't even know why they hate you. And I think now I've just been scapegoated. Like, he hated me because he could, and he got away with it, and my parents actually kind of supported that dynamic. So when he was looking at me with disgust, like I was the scum of the earth, what he was doing was actually looking at a part of himself that he had projected onto me, because he doesn't know me. He's never once asked me ever how I'm doing, how I feel, and actually wanted to know the answer. Like, he might say, well, how's it going, as a formality, but he's never actually listened to me or like genuinely wanted to know the answer or wanted to know my opinion about anything. Like, he doesn't know me, so he can't hate me if he doesn't know me. He's hating the idea of me in his head, which has been largely influenced by my parents' script of the family, and just also by his own script of his reality, which involves scapegoating me. So people don't seem to talk a lot about like sibling abuse or like the effect of that, but for me, like, my main dynamic with romantic relationships has been a mirror of my brother. It hasn't been either of my parents. Like, all the men that I have been attracted to before I woke up about narcissistic abuse were exactly like my brother. Like, it's so freaky to reflect on that. They were exactly like my brother. That was the wound that I was trying to heal, more than my relationship with my father or my mother. Like, a lot of my friends were similar to my mother, like my female friends, but then the romantic relationship were all about trying to get some asshole narcissist to love me when he wouldn't give me the time of day. And that was my dynamic with my brother, basically begging him to stop treating me like shit, and him refusing because he could, you know. And my parents were like, yeah, that's the dynamic. You're the wonderful golden child and she's the scapegoat. So he just went along with the script, and I carried out that same pattern over and over and over again. So not only did he abuse me, but he also set me up to be abused over and over again in that same pattern, because I was stuck on it. Like, my psychology was like, we need to figure this out, but I'm never gonna figure it out. He's never gonna love me, and all these men that are the same as him are also never gonna love me because they're narcissists. So I'm very, very grateful to have woken up to this whole dynamic and realized that that's not love. If someone is refusing to even give you the time of day, like, just avoid that person and run like hell, because that the way that they're treating you actually has nothing to do with you and is completely in their head, and you can't change what's in their head. So my brother saying, oh, I didn't know, and oh, I care about you, is just, it's just a facade. And we had one moment that I'm remembering now, like in our entire lives, we had one moment where I felt like there was some element of truth between us, and it was when I was going away to university, and he's 3 years younger than me, so he was still gonna have to live with our parents for 3 more years. And there was some unspoken moment, I don't remember what was said, but he made it clear that he understood that it was better that I was the older child and I was going to be leaving home first, versus if he was the older one and I was going to be left alone with our parents for 3 years without him. Like, he understood that he was somehow better equipped to be with them alone because he is the golden child and they treat him better than they treat me. And I really wish I could remember exactly what happened, but there was that moment where he said something like, oh, it's lucky for you, you're the older one, or something like that. So when he's saying now he had no idea, it's like I have that moment where I know that he knew something. He knew my mother, our mother, treated me worse than she treated him. He knew that. So for him to say, oh, I had no idea, he's just lying. So I have had tiny moment of validation, even though I can't remember it exactly what was said, but he knew, and I guess that's all the proof that I need. So hope this video was helpful for you in some way. It was mostly just sharing my story, but thank you for watching.